What it is, what it do, and how the hell are all of you? It's yours truly, Petra, fucker, back with another mother lover. You already know the deal. Grab your smoke, grab your drink, and lock in with your boy, because we're back with another one. Now, in this episode, we're going to be going over Ethan Crumbly, his whack-ass parents, Darrell Brooks and his dehumanized wannabe ass, and Timmy Simpkins and how he was bullied and it was okay for him to shoot up a school. Now, if any of those things bug you, you may not want to tune into this episode. If it doesn't, holler at your boy. Now, one of the things that bugs me the most when I think about these three people is the media is taking each story. Now, we're not talking all media, we're talking the mainstream media. We're not talking independent, we're not talking Fox, we're not talking Newsmax, because they may have their own way of going at things biasly, this, that, the other, but at least they cover shit. You got CNN when it came to Timmy Simpkins and Darrell Brooks and this, that, other. They only wanted to cover it one time. Give it one story, 1 hour, rah. And then you got fucking, Cuomo doing his little stock and shit. They really suffering over there, along with MSNBC. Anyways, then you got Ethan Crumbly. And you got everybody and their mama, every back room intellect coming out the motherfucking woodwork with the next best outlook on why he did what he did and why he's the most evil racist bitch in the world and this, that, the other, right? It's hard to not laugh at some of these assholes' videos. Cause I gotta think, did you really believe the shit that you was spewing? Because if you believe the shit that you was spewing, you may need to see a doctor because you was stupid. Now, I can say it like that because I am an asshole and I'm okay with being an asshole. But one of the things that I noticed is when it comes to Ethan Crumbly, he's getting more airtime because of what his parents did versus than what he did. And that's kind of fucked up in its own right. Because he's the one that actually went through with it. Now, the parents didn't do anything to stop it, but neither did the school. School could have alerted the authorities, but nah, they weren't feeling like that was their job to do that. Because the authorities were happily telling, who was it that interviewed him? Neil Cavuto on Fox News interviewed Matt, I think it's Matt Bouchard. I know it's Bouchard, Sheriff Bouchard out of Oxford County. He's the one that's doing the investigation. But he was like, yeah, the school never reached out, parents never reached out to me, criminally wise, we didn't know anything. And I mean, the morning of, you got the school saying that this boy had a drawing of someone that was shot, blood all over, saying help me, somebody stop me, something like that. And then he had his own little he was on Instagram, I think it was Instagram, or he was on one of the social media sites, speaking on what he was gonna do. And there was a lot of people that knew about these red flags that was popping up, but they just either chose not to connect the dots. And I'm not blaming the kids. I'm not blaming none of the kids in that school at all. I'm blaming the teachers. Because the teachers, you see this kid every day. You can see, you hear whispers, you this, that, the other. Why don't you try to connect the dots? Especially if you had kids that called in and parents that called in were like, yeah, no, I ain't coming in today. No, I think something bad's gonna happen, this, that, the other, right? A lot of reports like that. And I just think you got somebody that looks like boy looked zanned out of his mind in his mugshot. I'm gonna keep it 100. He looks zanned out of his mind. I would venture to guess that he probably is on some kind of antidepressant. His parents probably didn't give too much of a fuck. Let's be honest about that, because they didn't have a problem with getting him a handgun. They didn't have a problem with joking about him getting in trouble for trying to buy or looking up ammunition in school. No, none of those red flags mattered to mom or pa. And now we wonder why mom and pa are taking the fuck off. Hindsight 2020, they did their little in their arraignment, they did their little case in the car. Kind of odd. I thought that was odd. I thought it was like a fucking I thought it was like a truck, but then I was like, maybe just a hotel room or something. Maybe they just got a fucked up room in their house, something like that. But nah, they was in a whip. And now we wonder why it's a manhunt for them, because they knew that they were going to be charged the minute the district attorney was talking about dropping charges. And when you see the mother's involvement and everything else, you're really like, yeah, fuck them. Chop that up. Let them go. Fuck them. They need to be arrested too. You know what I mean? No way are they going to get away from this. And the most fucked up part is oh yeah, Ethan, You went and did some horrendous shit because we didn't stop you, and now you're on your own because we're gonna run. Sorry that you're sitting in jail, but we got to get to getting. You know what I mean? And that's who I would ask. I'd go ask, where the fuck is your parents at? Because he knows. Let's be honest, he probably knows. And then when I think of like school shooters, when I think of like Columbine and those things, you had Eric and Dylan, and just like David Landell said on the Louder Crowder that Eric was a fucking sociopath, and Dylan just followed him. And if you watch, I think it was one of the bigger directors did a video back in the day about Columbine, and they interviewed a lot of the people that were victims of the shooting in Columbine. And they had footage, all this shit. It was crazy. I remember I've watched the video like 50 times. I think it's Bowling with Columbine, I think is what it is. But check it out if you haven't. Anyways, there was that there. Eric was a fucking sociopath. You could tell that little nutcase, I think, just wanted somebody to die with. I'm gonna keep it a buck. He wanted to terrorize people because I guess he was terrorized. He was picked on, this, that, the other. And then when you hear going through the video, this, that, you know. Anyways, Dylan was a follower. That was my point. And they both were bullied. So that's where I'm coming up to this next point where I just cut myself off. They were bullied, right? That's what a lot of people said. They were bullied, this, that, the other. That's one of the things that a lot of people speculated. Well, when you see the people they were shooting, those things, did those people bully you? And that's the same thing with Timmy Simpkins and with Ethan Crumbly. If it comes down to you were bullied, did you shoot the people that were bullying you, or did you just go in and shoot everybody? So the whole world just did you wrong? The people that had nothing to do with, especially let's say Tate Meyer, when it comes to Ethan Crumbly, tried to stop him, lost his life. Those parents lost their son in a very heroic way. He saved how many lives? He saved, and we're talking, like Steven Crowder said, this is seconds we're talking about, not minutes, seconds. You've seen kids escaping out of fucking windows, to get up out of that bitch. You had a sheriff that said the word bro. Now, could be a sheriff, could have been Ethan. I'm pretty sure that what it came down to is it was the sheriff, but it was probably one of the most documented at this point school shootings that I've seen in my lifetime, at least with the documenting being from the students within. In Columbine, you see the kids running from lunchroom to this, that, the other. You see them, try and take cover, this, that, the other. It's just effed up beyond repair. But one of the things that I see a lot of them, it comes down to being bullied. I get in what it looks like being mad at the world, but I think all of them had their own cries for help. No matter what, they all had their cries for help. Parents, I'm not saying the parents knew exactly what was going on. I'm not saying that their parents were like, yep, I know exactly that my kid's feeling like this, that they're going to do. I'm not saying that, but you know your kids, and as a parent, you know your kids, man. Come on. You know when something's not right. You know when, especially in Ethan's case, how did the parents not know, especially if the school had reached out, this, that, the other. And I mean, the reports are that he didn't leave the school, so it sounds like he was already strapped up when he went into school. So it's not like Ethan. I don't think Timmy Simpkins went to the school armed. I think he left and came back. I could look that up. But when I think about these things, and I listen to the news, read the articles, get the independent idea of it, I really just think you can blame bullying. That's just in my eyes blaming music and entertainment. Especially if in the case you're just going in and openly firing on whoever. Like Timmy Simpkins shot a teacher. What did the teacher do to you? That's kind of how I look at it. And when I see who Ethan shot, I just was like, okay, well, I gotta say, how many did those people bully you? Is that your reasoning for getting revenge? This, that, the other? Or did you just go in and open fire and take the lives of 4 people? And one of them had the balls enough to fight you on it. Tate Myers. Did the other 3 bully you? Did the 2 girls bully you? Did you like them and they didn't like you back? When I look at it, because when it happened with when I seen the Columbine video, when I seen the people that were were dead and the people that were injured, it made me think, like, what did you do to him? Why did, especially when they talk about bully and this, that, the other, what did the bully do? Because I mean, it's got to be bad enough to warrant you killing them. Because I personally think everybody gets picked on, everybody gets teased. Now, I will say it is to certain extents with everybody. Everybody's different. Some bullies are really demon assholes that don't give a fuck, never cared, that never gonna care. I'm not saying that they don't exist, but it does make me question, like, because of the lengths they're going to, the length in which that Ethan Crumbly, Timmy Simpkins, Darrell Brooks, all of them, the lengths of which you went to commit the crime you committed. Did the people that you committed the crime against, did they do something to warrant that? Because I would argue no. I would say no, they didn't. I don't think any of those 4 people did anything to Ethan. When Timmy Simpkins says he was bullied and they beat him up, this, that, the other, I don't believe it. Because of what you went through and what you did when you went through with it. Because if you got a problem with Jimmy, let's fictitiously say a guy named Jimmy. Let's say you got a problem with a guy named Jimmy. Why are you going to go after Kathy? Why are you going to go beat up Bubba? You know what I mean? If your beef is with Jimmy, why are you going after everyone else? Because not everybody did something. So there's a lot, and especially in Ethan's case, the parents in the school, man, this is like a failing on every level. Because the parents had every chance to stop this. The school had every chance to stop this. Why were the cops not involved before? Why were the cops not called almost immediately that morning? If all these signs had popped up, if all this stuff had mattered, and that day, as I had said, there was no saying that Ethan left. So it sounds like he went to school with a gun. Why did the teachers not call maybe a resource officer when Ethan got caught looking up ammunition? When you see the Columbine videos, you see Dylan and Eric shooting in the woods. And it makes me wonder, as a parent, how did your kids get the hardware past you? Now, I know as a kid, it wasn't like I was trying to be the most sneaky person in the world, right? No, you know. But with the extent of what they were doing, how did a parent not catch on? As a parent, if you know your kid is running around with a video camera, videotaping their day-to-day life, why wouldn't you ask to see something? You know, why? Or shouldn't you be a little nosy? Isn't that kind of your job? At least that's how I look at it. Maybe I'm just a different breed. But when I think of Ethan Crumbly, and I think of the situation he's now put himself in, and this boy's 15 years old, he's going to be in juvenile detention till he's 18, depending on, I guess, what the law is. I guess he could go to a real prison at 17 if warranted, I suppose. And maybe not. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe if someone knows, tell me. But he's about to do 4 life sentences at least. You're never going to get out. You can't even live to the time you could get out. And then the question would be would we want you out? Would the public think you're redeemed? Would the public think that you're rehabilitated? And now this is the next big one. Your parents and their involvement. Being charged with, each parent charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. The parents, if hit with that charge, they're going to be doing a good grip of time. You know, let's look that up a second. So right here, this is Gabriel Law, I believe it is. Yeah, Gabriel Law or whatever. So here's the statute. Could be, this is just manslaughter, but I'm assuming it's going to be roughly around the same time. Now it says, right here at the bottom, 15 years, not more than 15 years, or by fine of not more than $7,500, or both at the discretion of the court. That's 4 charges. That's 60 years. You're facing 60 motherfucking years. Not that that's what they're gonna give you. Not that that's what the jury's gonna give you. You know what I mean? But you're definitely gonna be looking at some fucking time. So that's where I think, like, nah, man, it's gotta be. They're gonna have to do something. And I like the school. I know that Fox News said that there was some of the teachers could have been looking at criminal charges, or somebody else could have been. And I kind of thought, like, good. They kind of fucking should be, because in lawsuits out the wazoo should be happening. Like, let's keep it 100. But Ethan Crumbly, man, he cooked his own boots, man. He made a decision that he was gonna play God, and it's about to beat his ass back. Believe that. And then, as I said, gotta talk about Darrell Brooks. Now, when I said earlier to talk about Timmy Simpkins, I was just comparing how the media in my eyes, treated one person versus treated someone else. Timmy Simpkins is almost like the media wanted him to be some kind of a victim when he created victims. Ethan Crumbly not only created victims, his parents and the schools allowed it. But we'll see what story really gets spun by said media, especially when, as I've covered in a video that is going to be dropped, a woman on TikTok went automatically there with racism. Michigan's so racist, this, that, the other. Well, that's where I have to say, if it's how you want to see it, I guess you could see it that way, but it doesn't make you right. What he did, what's going to happen to him, has nothing to do with his race. Same with Timmy Simpkins. What he did and what should happen to him will have nothing to do with his race. Now, if there's prior convictions for either of the boys, that's going to work. That's going to go against you. Just like with Darrell Brooks, when he goes on trial for the demon-ass shit that he decided to go do, all those previous charges are going to come back to bite him in his ass, as they should have to begin with. Seeing as how now they're playing, how did he get the $1,000 bond game? Got blame going this way, blame going that way. Well, anybody that was in charge of that should probably get suspended and or fired, because they fucked up big time. Now, I say it like that because I've already talked about Timmy Simpkins before, and I think they should throw the book at him for what he did. He wanted to go play judge, jury, and executioner, as so many would like to say it. Well, now he should have to face the punishment for the crimes he decided to commit. Same with Ethan Crumbly. Same with his parents. Same with anybody that was a mandatory reporter and decided not to report it because they failed at their job, at the bare minimum of their job. When it comes to Darrell Brooks, he feels dehumanized. His ex has it correct. It was a monstrous act. It was irredeemable. And it was unforgivable. And him feeling dehumanized, as he should, how should people treat you, my man? Treat you like you did something good? He was talking all that extra shit on social media, getting yourself real hyped up, real upset. Kill this, if we're going to knock out old people too, man. Fuck white people, this, that, the other, this, that, the other. Well, you went and committed a very racist act. A very racist act. And you want people to feel bad? What? Is that what you want? You want somebody to feel bad that now you're in jail and the judge hit you with a $5 million bond. Yeah, you definitely have people out there like saying, well, that's unfair. That's unfair. Well, you know what? To the people that said it's unfair that Darrell Brooks got a $5 million bond, he had a $1,000 bond that they just decided they didn't. They are so overworked, slipped through the cracks. He had a chance to not go out and do what the fuck he decided to do. Well, guess what? He decided to do what he was going to do, and he ruined over 50 fucking lives, killed children. He deserves to rot in jail. He deserves to go to prison and enjoy the rest of his fucking life sitting inside of there, unless Wisconsin's got the death penalty. And if they do, play the game, motherfucker. You wanted at it, you lost. Because what's the saying? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes? Is jail supposed to be humanizing? It's supposed to make you feel good about yourself? Because all the prison YouTube channels and TikTok channels, they're not fucking with you, bro. And your music, only reason you got views is because people had to see what kind of music you was doing. It's not like them as fans. And you're not going to be Julius Jones and catch clemency. Because no matter what people try to spin, what you did is unspinnable, irredeemable, unforgivable. And for that, you deserve all the rotten shit that's going to happen to you. And on those notes, you already know what it is. Stay blazed, stay blessed, stay safe. And at the end of the day, it's always going to be fuck Ethan Crumbly and his parents, fuck Darrell Brooks to the moon, and fuck Timmy Simpkins. Peace.